Alright guys and gals, today has finally come. We are going to be looking at carbide tip, processor chain. You guys can see there, about half the tooth's carbide, and it is surprisingly sharp. I was kind of on the fence on how fast it would cut versus your traditional. Of course, this is a double safety garbage chain, but try getting these chains without that stuff. At least for the 325, right? Nonetheless, the carbide is not double raker safety chain. You can kind of see, I'm hoping you can see that. Of course, we got the glare, right? That makes it worse. You can see. So we've got a new chain on it. We ain't run this thing in quite some time. We're gonna do it, and we have got some monsters compared to what we normally run that are of the dirty ash, hard maple. There's a soft maple. You guys can see it, right? And I'm not trying to kill the carbide by any means, but this is naturally what ends up happening, especially with the ash bark. As you guys can see, I mean, all these channels, it kills your chains. So, but we are going to see how long we can go with this standard chain, freshly ground, on this dirty wood before we change over to the carbide, and we'll see what the difference is. I do expect kind of a different in cut, being a thicker tooth, but the profile of it looks pretty good to me. So we'll go and we'll hang this up here because we've got the standard chain already on it. We're going to run that for a bit until she says no more, and then we'll change it over to the processor chain. Alright guys, so you guys can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it over the engine. I can hear it. It's definitely dulling. It actually is running a lot longer than I figured it would with the size of the wood. What did I do with that now? This thing stinks. Oil, right? Okay. So you can hear it hitting the top. Yeah, you can actually see there's a little shiny spot right there. So this will, you can see it rides the edge of this guard. Whenever it gets tweaked, it'll do that. Okay, so we're gonna just stop it right there before we get too far gone, and it takes forever to sharpen. Just pull this guy apart here, which I'm still on a broken stud on the bottom, which has actually been since the second day I run it. And we've done quite a few cord through this machine with it broken. But she's still hanging in there, so I'm not replacing it until it completely goes out on me. So that was actually kind of impressive compared to the wood we had this winter. The wood we had this winter, it did not, it didn't like it. But it's the dirtiest stuff I've got on the ground right now. Not that I'm really looking for it, it just seems to find me. So here we go. Nice look at the carbide. You can see it there. I'm eager to see how this does. I'm wondering about chattering, wondering about everything. I didn't figure it would be sharp, so it wouldn't cut as fast, and that's, I've got it right now set to, I modulate the speed with the lever, basically, because I got sick of changing it every single log. Alright guys, so if you made it this part of the video, I appreciate a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe. We've got a lot of content coming from the logging aspect, because we are getting all of our own wood now. We got a truck, we got a tractor, we got the winch, we got saws. We're going to be out in the woods cutting a lot of firewood, going through all the categories, checking all the boxes, we'll say. Going to be getting into hopefully some sawmilling here shortly with Gramps. Yeah, So if you're new here, like I said, drop a sub. Appreciate it. Definitely leave a comment below if there's anything that you guys want to see in particular, anything that I messed up on, or if you guys think can be improved. There's definitely improvements that can be made here. I do know that the table needs to go that way just a smidgen, but it's kind of an act of Congress to move the whole thing, so I've kind of just been dealing with it the way it is. Fortunately, I brought diesel with me today. No gasoline. I got one other spot I can check real quick, but pretty sure I just took all the gasolines out to change them up a little bit, because I hadn't been running this thing, and all I got here is diesel. So yeah, unfortunate, but there we go. That is, I think it was 15 minutes. Not the most impressive at all, not saying that in the least bit, but for the amount of fuel that we had, and the biggest thing with this Carbide chain is going to be time. This stuff is biggest I've run by far. This is solid stuff. I mean, you guys can see in there, rubbing the claw, and just about, of course, it's got a butt. Well, we're not at the butt no more, so it was really quite big stuff for the machine. And this is the top end of it. So we're at 15-inch double heart area. I don't know about the stump end here. Stump end's right at 14, just about, I'd say. So we were about maxing her out. It's hot today. It's got to be upper 80s. That's another reason why I wanted to run it. I didn't think I was going to be able to until I started messing with the saw a little bit. I didn't want to film too much of that, but I decided we might as well give these a run. And of course, these three are the smallest of all the ones that we did, but they're still pretty decent size compared to what we've been running. I've been basically 12 12 inches is probably about what I like, what the machine likes. Definitely, you could see the production value running 16 plus is it's more of a struggle for it. It's hard on it, but what I really wanted to test today was to see how the hydraulic temperature would be, mainly. And she's warm. She is warm. Now, we weren't running the conveyor at full squirt, and that worked good. And what I didn't realize when we were having issues to begin with was that the angle that I have the square stock at here, if a piece of wood just perfectly gets in here, that can happen. And then you get a double that gets pushed against that belt and it stops it. So I thought we were binding at the bottom. It's more or less this issue. So I've got to figure out a ramp system, maybe just a piece of bar coming out, and when the tip here hits that, it'll push it up and get it over this square rib. But they are doing well. They are doing really well. Minimal trash. Obviously we got trashy stuff over there because that was from the last part of the year running without the grizzlies. Keep the bark and the sand and the dirt and everything else out of it. And this is what we've got going on here. So this is beautiful. Exactly what I want. I would like to clean this up, get rid of the tin. I know that kind of looks chewy, but it serves the purpose and it's cheap and it's working. That's the biggest thing that we're after. Down here is working beautiful as well. I've run this, I haven't cleaned it out probably maybe 6-8 times now, ever since I put the flap at the bottom, which I do have a video on the flap. You guys see the flap there? Because I was constantly getting pieces down in there and it was pressing against the belt and the metal, and it would jam itself up. So we got rid of that issue with a flap. We got rid of the dirty issue with the grizzlies. Now we've got to get this deal fixed here. And I just watched the Log Father. He just went over and met with EcoPro, and apparently they've got a brand new machine, which I wish I knew was coming, because it sounds like right after I bought this one, they now come with a 22 horse engine on it, where mine's a 14, and it's got a multi-function pump on it. Anyway, I just wish I knew. I wish I knew. I would have waited. I would have waited. Now, if you were to get one of these machines, it's going to be at least double the unit I have. Just putting that out there, because the biggest negative that I have with this is your cycle time. It could be improved so quickly by letting you cut and split at the same time, and now the new machines have them. So that's an excellent feature to hear about. I'm hoping that they have a kit that I can get for mine and upgrade the pump itself. It's right here. And then I actually did just get a Deutz diesel engine. I'm not sure if it's going to go on this or the Vanguard. I got a propane Vanguard, which I think is a 24 horse V-twin, which I really like the fuel too. But yeah, very lackluster. There is a pro to the size of wood that I was doing versus this stuff. Now when we start getting into the straight poles here, these should go through like butter. When you get into this stuff, you know, you got the double heart ends, and just, you know, you got a lot of fighting there. And then you're splitting off chunks that may not dry. Well, these actually look pretty decent, but right here, this isn't actually split. That chunk probably won't dry for 2 years. So I want to break that in half. But when you start getting into these, which I can kind of, we got butt swell out here, but if this is probably 14-inch. Yeah, we're at 14 at the furthest, 13. This one will probably be a 13. Yep. You get into these guys, and these guys produce good wood, good size, and you go through them relatively quickly. But like I said, big ugly things like we've been doing, they take time. They take time. They're hard on everything. And like from the yeah, you guys will see how much I struggled with them. And then for the outcome, the output of the machine, I mean, yeah, 15-20 minutes. But you know, stuff like this, that's boiler size. So it is what it is. But the biggest thing that I want to see is no more of this crap. That's a perfect example of what was coming out before, and that's why I was hand bombing everything onto the conveyor. That way we can get rid of this garbage that we've been kind of producing as we produce the wood. So this looks a lot cleaner. Customers will be a lot happier, and I won't have to worry about picking them out all the time, especially after I get all this moved. So all right, I'm gonna end it there, guys. God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.